Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Caitlin, congratulations on an amazing season. Rookie of the Year is a big honor. You deserve it. Congratulations.
After saying something unexpected in his most recent interview, Nikola Jokić left Caitlin Clark completely stunned. This is a guy who doesn't say much, let alone hand out compliments freely. But careers shift when he does speak.
Well, Nikola Jokić is the MVP of the league. He's the best player in the world. He's been the best player in the world for the last few years. You know who he has a shoe deal with? I'm going to tell you here in a...
Now that he's praised Caitlin like royalty, all the so-called experts who once doubted her are scrambling to delete their old tweets. You might think this is an exaggeration or just clickbait, but trust this. Nikola Jokić doesn't talk much. He's not on Twitter. He doesn't throw shade. Even when he wins MVP awards, he barely reacts. But when he does speak, everyone listens. And his usual calm turned into something close to excitement when he talked about Caitlin Clark. A two-time MVP, an NBA champion, and a man who avoids drama at all costs went out of his way to praise a WNBA rookie.
It's really in awe of the game, you know.
Knocks it down!
I'm saying men and women's college basketball, she's probably the most impressive.
One who has faced constant physical targeting, mockery, and skepticism, Jokić didn't focus on her scoring or her logo threes. He focused on her resilience. He called it one of the most impressive things he's seen in a long time. That's not a throwaway compliment from a man who's built his entire career by tuning out the noise. That's a gold medal level statement.
Excited for her to be here. I think it brings a lot of excitement to the city, and a city with a lot of young talent already as it is, and adding her, she's one of the faces of women's basketball, and for her to be here and under the same roof, I think is really exciting for me, and I think a lot of people in our organization, and just look forward to, watching her grow throughout the process, watching her get better. Looking forward to actually being able to cheer for her now. Now she's with the good.
Then he said it plainly, in one simple line. She just plays basketball. That's it. In Jokic's world, that means pure basketball, no drama, no distractions. That kind of statement carries weight in a league full of storylines and subplots, especially coming from a man who dismantles teams with almost no emotion and zero trash talk.
I think she put up 2 feet beyond half court, so for me to see it in person, she's legit. She's the best, so she's the GOAT, so her skill set far exceeds it.
But let's be clear about something. This wasn't charity. He wasn't complimenting her just to look supportive or progressive. Jokić recognized something real in Caitlin. The way she slows the game down without actually being slow. The way she reads plays before they happen. Her patience, her vision for setting up teammates, and her complete lack of theatrics, that's what caught his attention. And here's the interesting part. The comparison goes both ways. For months, analysts have been drawing parallels between Clark and Jokić, based on real film study, not just attention-grabbing headlines. Both use their eyes to deceive defenders. Both pause a beat longer than anyone expects. Both lure defenses into mistakes and make them pay for it. Their pacing, their patience, their command of the game, eerily similar. And the results speak for themselves. Total dominance.
And Clark, she's not the tallest. She doesn't have a crazy frame that, but she got women's basketball on lock right now. And she hasn't really been in it a while. And a lot of people haven't seen a lot of it. Anything that happens with her is going to be magnified, right? Which is great for the WNBA.
Now let's get into the twist.
According to reports, Nike had no plan to build a shoe around Jokić, instead focusing on Victor Wembanyama, the face of the brand's new Air Immersion Space.
Jokić, arguably the best player in the world, never landed a real Nike deal. He didn't have the flash. He wasn't seen as a shoe seller. Nike passed on him in favor of flashier dunks and bigger names. Eventually, he signed with 361 Degrees, a brand barely known outside Asia.
And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot when you can shoot it.
Not hype. He explained how she ran her team's offense like a seasoned veteran, reading defenders, using hesitation dribbles, drawing defenders into traps, and manipulating spacing. That kind of breakdown is usually reserved for proven veterans. And he gave it to her as if she already belonged in that circle. Because she doesn't just.
I was going to say, Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall, floor game. She's racking up, close to triple doubles every night. And her shooting ability is, it's her super.
Meanwhile, Nike is now hoping that Caitlin Clark, who wasn't even offered a deal early in her career, becomes the face they once overlooked. Clark recently signed an 8-figure contract. It's a wild turn of events. Nike is essentially playing catch-up, having already fumbled with Steph Curry and nearly making the same mistake with Caitlin.
The thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. Don't get it twisted. Don't get up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
That's poetic justice. Jokić, a generational talent, was once overlooked too. Now he's watching someone else break through that same wall, only faster and under a much brighter spotlight. He respects it because he knows what it feels like to be the best and still get ignored, to dominate the game while the media looks elsewhere. And it only gets more real from here.
All the criticism and everything that's going on, fairly well. Like,
sure.
She never let nothing knock her off her square, man.
They got Indiana games.
Yeah. I just saw the interview when she was they asked her about not being on the Olympic team. She was like,
what a great answer she gave.
Great answer.
LeBron James knows exactly what it's like to step into a league where every fan, critic, and camera is watching your every move. He dealt with more attention than almost any athlete this century, starting at just 18 years old, straight out of high school. So it meant something when he told Caitlin Clark, "Put your blinders on, go to work, stay humble. You're walking through the same fire I did. And this is the only roadmap I ever had." That's essentially what he was telling her, bridging 2 decades of hard-earned experience. And to be clear, LeBron doesn't hand out his playbook to just anyone. He's not in the business of mentoring rookies as some kind of feel-good gesture. He openly called Clark's response great, after watching how gracefully she handled being left off the Olympic roster. In LeBron's language, that means she's got what it takes. No begging, no chasing influence. She earned his respect simply by staying composed when it would have been easier to react.
This level of notoriety, out of this world expectation, whatever the case may be. I just think it's all about having, be a horse, man. The Kentucky Derby, put your blinders on, go to work, show up to work, punch your clock in, prepare yourself, work on your game, work on your craft, kind of keep your mouth shut, and just learn from the vets. When they ask, you voice your opinion if they want your opinion, man, early on.
Luka Doncic has his own style. Sarcasm comes naturally to him. He'll drop 70 points and still find a way to joke about it in 5 different languages. But that changed when Caitlin came up. She's a better shooter than me. No jokes, no ego. Coming from Luka, that's a big deal. This is a guy who taunts defenders mid-crossover and treats trash talk like a warm-up routine. Yet he dropped all of that the moment Clark's name came up. Could she really shoot like that? Apparently too impressive to joke about. Without hesitation, he handed her the crown in the one area he usually dominates.
It's crazy, 40 and 12, people don't understand, that's not easy. Scoring and then getting everybody involved, what she's doing is unbelievable. She was using her hang dribble just to read if she was going to be able to blow by her defender or not, and she was just doing step backs and side steps and dribbling in the lane, dribbling back out, and then shooting threes. But it started with her getting to the basket and just getting some layups, getting easy ones, getting some and ones to start the game. You could tell that she had a plan on what she was doing.
Then there's Trae Young, who isn't exactly generous with praise either. Let's be honest about that.
But I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. I hope they.
But after Clark dropped 40 points with 12 assists, he broke down her game like he was studying film. It was cold, technical praise, not vibes, not hype. He explained how she ran her team's offense like a seasoned veteran, reading defenders, using hesitation dribbles, drawing defenders into traps, and manipulating spacing. That kind of breakdown is usually reserved for proven veterans. And he gave it to her as if she already belonged in that circle, because she doesn't just impress on the court, she teaches through how she plays.